Good morning. So, this is the whole story why I'm even doing these videos, or part of the reason, I guess. So, in May, I lost my father, um, which was the latest in a string of devastating losses. Um, I had a baby in 2014 and went through a very traumatic pregnancy and postpartum period. I later, he's fine, but it was very traumatic in 2014. I later found myself in an emotionally and financially abusive relationship with his father. And then my sister died. And then a couple years later, my mom died. And then a couple years later, my mom died during COVID, not of COVID, but during COVID. And then a couple years later, my dad died. And through each of those things, I was grinding and in survival mode and moving and grooving and just wouldn't stop. And when I got up after about a month break, which to me was significant after my dad passed away, I got up to go back to work and I couldn't. Like, stuff was happening and I couldn't hack it. Like, and not even just stuff. Like, there was a significant thing at work that happened that came out of nowhere that should not have happened, but happened. And then my brother had a thing, and then my sibling, who has been non-contact with me and the family since my mom died, reaches out and has a thing and needs my help, and I couldn't do it. Also, I had, in the midst of all that, before my dad died, 2 years before my dad died, I had my son after fertility, trying single mom by choice thing with my baby daddy, which is a whole nother story. I figure, the devil and I don't want two baby daddies. And I want my kids to be, I want my kids to be related all the way. As a kid that was not related all the way to my siblings, I see the difference. I see it. So anyway, long story short, May, I get the news of my dad's passing after leaving church. I had just broken down, completely exhausted at church because I had to run to a work thing. I was working constantly, angry at everybody, always balled up, having heart palpitations on a regular basis, battling diabetes, type 2 diabetes, just tired and worn out and done. And then my dad died. And so the break that I took, that was not enough. Everything fell apart, and I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. No, not to mention the fact that my dad's side of the family and I don't know each other because of my origin story, which is another video. But his brother doesn't know me. His nieces and his niece and his nephew don't know me. Nobody really knows me. Like, even my half brother doesn't know me, and it's like, I'm the other person. I'm the person that nobody knows, right? So like, I'm feeling completely isolated. Nobody to talk to. Nobody to, and so I tell my board, like, I start to ideate. I start to think about what would happen if I just didn't wake up. What would happen if I turned the gas stove on and just went to sleep? Like, who would take care of my kids? What would happen? Like, I'm like looking into like what would happen. Do I have enough life insurance, all this other stuff. And so I was just like, I don't want to die. I don't want to kill myself. I have to tell somebody that I need a break. So I tell my board that I need a break. And then I take a break. And the first couple of days, they gave me the break. The first couple of days of the break, I just kind of like lay. I don't know. Like my kids are still with me, so I don't really truly feel like it's a huge break. But like, I'll take what I can get. um, so first couple of days I like lay in bed and like I color. I love coloring. Not used to. I love coloring. And then you know, um, then I watched The Shack like 3 times. It's a very good movie. And that kind of started to help me kind of organize my thoughts about what I was feeling. Um, that helped me organize my thoughts about what I was feeling and what I was going through and what. Like, I was at a place, a point where I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to get out. I didn't see a way to get out of what was happening and what I was feeling. And I wanted everything to stop. Um, Meanwhile, I built up this very, very consistent, trusty, dusty persona of having it together and being okay and being the one that people can come to when they need support, and so I didn't have anybody. Also, currently now in almost a little bit over a year-long drought, but that's fine because the guy that I was dating was not it. Before, so I'd much rather the drought, but yeah, I was stuck. I didn't know. I just let myself feel, which is the first time in a long time that I let myself feel, which is weird because I'm a healer and I'm a doula and like I'm really good for like holding space and helping other people heal, other people feel, and I just wasn't doing it for myself. And so first couple of days I just let myself feel, and it was very confusing and very like, because I'm used to fixing, I'm used to moving towards a point. And so like I wasn't moving towards a point, I was just at the point that I was at. Um, and so I was out for 6 weeks. I was a little frustrated because the first like 4 weeks, for first like 3 weeks, I was getting emails from my board and my staff, and everybody was initially like, "We're not gonna leave you alone. Like, get yourself together." And then I'm still getting emails, and I'm just frustrated and balled up and angry and triggered. And then it stopped. Something happened. I sent an email, and everybody was just like, "Okay." And I didn't think about work. I didn't think about work. I did not think about work. And it felt so good. It felt so good and freeing. I didn't think about my office. I didn't think about my staff. I didn't think about clients. I didn't think about friends. I didn't think about anything. And it felt good. And the anger that I had for my brothers started to dissipate. I started having more grace and more understanding and empathy for him. The stress that I had when I thought about my kids melted away, and I started to enjoy them more and enjoy them enjoying their life and giving them opportunities and space to enjoy themselves. Being dialed in with them, I started walking, I started juicing, I started paying attention to what I ate when I fed my kids and my family, and I, tidied up my house a little bit, not a whole lot, but like I tidied up my house, and I just felt good. I forgot what it felt like. And so I remember that I'm a healer, that before all of this, before the success of my current business, I was doing Reiki out of my house and doing crystal workshops and teaching Reiki and foundations and energy healing, and doing yoga and teaching yoga and all these things. And I felt good and I was sustained. Now I have a mortgage that is a little rough for me at the moment. Even with the successful job, it's still a struggle to pay my mortgage, because rates were high when I purchased. But I just realized that like I want to go back to that life. I want to go back to that practice, the flow of that life, being in flow, being connected to source, being connected and trusting that the things that I need will happen and show up. And so a week before it was time for me to come back to work, I had a lunch meeting with my board chair and told her also completely off of my medication, my diabetes medication. Numbers are completely under control and normal and stabilized. No more headaches, no more heart palpitations, no more anxiety attacks. Lost a bunch of weight. Skin is super fucking clear. Relaxed. Things are coming and I'm still able to kind of like react to them calmly. Not balled up. Again, my relationships with my family, my brother and my kids are like healing and working and like things are great. And so I went to my board member and I was like, I don't want to come back. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I was dying. I was literally killing myself. My A1C at one point was 11. I think I'm at like a 4.9 right now. That I was dying. And I didn't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to live. But the ego and the ego and the materialism of everything and pride and all these things are in play now because now I'm stuck. I went back to work. I went and sat in my office. I looked at my staff and I'm like, I could do this. I could come back and do this. But I really can't. Like even and like at this point the universe is set up like, no bitch, we heard you. You said you didn't want to do this, so get out. Like, and I'm trying to like bargain and I'm trying to like maybe if I do a little bit of this, or maybe if I move this, or maybe if I move that. But the thing that's happening is there's nothing that is coming to me when I'm asking spirit to like tell me what the next step is. Nothing is coming to me because I asked for peace, I asked for quiet, I don't want to work. And I don't know what that means as far as like my livelihood, as far as taking care of my kids. I want to take care of my kids. I've always worked at least 2 jobs since I was 14 years old. Like always. And even with this business, I've always had little side things on, like doing a yoga class here. I'm always doing more than one thing to maintain myself. And I know that was killing me. But I can't, I'm afraid to stop it because now I have these things. Now I have this house. Now I have these bills. Now I have this car. Now I have my brother to take care of. 2 kids to take care of. Like, all these things. And what I just heard, is who's taking care of you? And I'm like, I don't know, God. Is God God's taking care of me, right? Like, but also one of my prayers is a mate. But like, is that stupid? Is that ridiculous? Is that crazy to just be like, I'm gonna just stop and take care of myself until my mate shows up to take care of all of this shit? And so there's lots of what ifs, and I don't know. But I know that literally every time I try to take a step back to where I was and try to bargain and say, I can do this, I can go back. I can try to figure it out. I'm intelligent. I'm a problem solver, so I get a spark of inspiration about how I can do things or rearrange things. Every time that happens, I'm reminded, no, that's not what you asked for. That's not what your soul is yearning for. Your soul is yearning for freedom. Your soul is yearning for peace. Your soul is yearning for love and balance. Your soul is yearning for health. Your soul is not necessarily yearning for wealth. Your soul is yearning for stability and protection and peace and health and wellness. And so, again, I'm struggling with my ego about like, what does that mean? Does that mean that I get to keep my house? I like my house. I love my house. I love being in my house. I love having this place for my children. I love does that mean that I don't? But like every other time that I have lost, because I have gone through these cycles of like loss, abject loss. And what I know is that after the loss, there is a period, a lull, a quietness, nothing is moving as far as my emotions and my manifestations. And then there's an explosion of next level shit. I know that. I've seen that over and over and over again. That is law in my life. Like, and God has never left me. God has never left me. Even when I felt like I was left, even when I felt like I was left, God has never left me. And I can look back and know that now. And I don't know. I'm struggling to remember that because I had gotten comfortable. Because everybody has always told me you need to be stable. You jump from one thing to another. It doesn't make sense. You got to be a big girl. You got to have a job and a career. And, this artist thing is not going to pay the bills. And this, Reiki and yoga, those things don't create a life and grow up. And, like, I feel like I'm pretty fucking grown. And that's never been the case for me. I've always, when I am in flow and when I am doing what my soul wants me to do, when I am happy, when I'm at peace, things just go. But I'm standing in this 3-bedroom, 4-bath house with my 2 kids and my brother and my special soaps and like my Fabletics subscription, which could probably go. And I'm like, I don't want to fall. I don't want to hurt myself. But I'm not going to fall. I never fall. I'm always, even when I feel like I fall, even when I jump, the universe is there to catch me. God is there to catch me. So I'm just struggling. But my pride doesn't want to give up. And I feel like this is giving up. My pride doesn't want me to give up. I have to go to the dentist. Well, I got insurance. Yeah, so I don't know. I have a meeting in a couple of days with my board to present to them what I actually want to do. I'm also thinking about my staff, but my staff like low-key resigned yesterday and then unresigned. So I don't know, but also self-preservation. They're not me. They're not used to this. They don't know what this looks like, I guess. I don't know. So I can't really fault them, but I have a meeting in a couple of days with my board about how I want to move forward, and I'm still just waiting for the answer, for the road to open up and to show me which way to go. And I'm really scared, and I feel like I'm going to have to just jump. I'm a little tired of jumping, but I'm going to have to jump. So that's that. I'm done. I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later.